Hello again, Knights fans, and we've been away for a while, but we're checking here with head coach Greg Herenda. Coach, while we were away, no shortage of places for the fans to hear from you, though.
Right.
As your team completed one of the most successful seasons in school history, certainly one of the most successful, or the most successful in the last 10 years. First championship since '05, first
Right.
NCAA Tournament appearance since '05, 18-15 record overall. Why don't you just take us through that championship run?
You know, it was remarkable, but not totally like I don't even know how to say it, but it didn't come out of nowhere. You know, we had a really good January. We were 7-3, and then we just got to first place with that win at Wagner, and came home and lost 3 games. And Tom, to be honest with you, I'll let you know what happened. The Sunday night before our next practice, I went to see the movie The Big Short. And it's a great movie. If you have, I'm not pushing it. I have no royalties in it. But it just taught me that I had to think outside of the box. We were playing man-to-man, and we were getting scored upon. And all of a sudden, I went to that movie, and I'm like, we've got to change. I've got to change. I can't go into practice, start hollering at guys and for doing the same thing the last 3 games. We weren't playing the right way. And it brought me back to when we beat Rutgers and Seton Hall. We went to a zone, 1-2-1-1, back to a 1-2-2. And the very next day of practice, I told the players, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to win. And it worked. We went to Mount St. Mary's and gave up, I believe, 54 or 56 points, went to Central and won, and then won the tournament. So literally going to that movie changed my approach and changed the players' approach, and here we are, you know. And usually we're talking after some good wins, but more often after some tough losses. And now being a NEC champion, an NCAA participant, is remarkable, but I'm not totally surprised. But we had to make some changes, but the credit goes to the players. But we changed the way we played, and it was successful.
Now, you were a very good road team all year, especially in conference. You took care of business at home here on the Stratus Arena court in the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Then you went back to Wagner, the site of that big win that you mentioned already,
Right,
to take on the number 1 seed, the Wagner Seahawks, in the championship game. No fear from your team as you went into that hostile environment.
and I think they probably fed off of me because the kids were watching the LIU Wagner game after our Mount game. And I think the kids wanted to play a home game because, you know, if you play a home game, this place would have been sold out, and it would have been the same atmosphere at Wagner, except it would have been more, you know, burgundy and blue. And deep down, I that wasn't going to be good for us. It would have been possibly too much pressure and too much on us to win. And if we got down or if we got up, our kids would be thinking this is going to be, you know, our championship. So we had to go on the road where we were very successful all year. We won in that building, which I think was huge. And I think, you know, Wagner thought they were going to win, which if you're a home team and you're as good as Wagner is, that's what they should think, and put that play to our favor. So going on the road and being down 13-2 and everything was against us, and doing it made it, you know, even, you know, much more sweeter than it you could have imagined. But it was that night, well, you know, I still can't. I've watched the tape once that night. I'm waiting one day just to go watch it again where you can totally enjoy it. But that was, you know, a special game, and something that I think Burgundy and Blue fans and our players will never, ever forget. And bringing that trophy onto the floor and bringing it home, and it sits in my office now. It was a tremendous night.
And it was also special for you on a personal level in that a Hall of Fame coach who you really look up to called the game for ESPN. Right. What was that like for you?
You know, it was crazy, Tom, because you were at Central Connecticut, and I called Coach Calhoun because I thought he was going to be at that last game for Coach Dickerman, and I wanted him to come and talk to my team. So when I spoke to him, he told me off the record that he was going to call the championship game. So if we made it to the championship, he would talk to my team. And sure enough, we go to the shoot-around the day before, and he was, or the day of the game, and he was there. So that was, I interviewed with Coach Calhoun in I think it was 86 or 87, whenever he got to UConn, and I almost got the job But since then, we've been really close, and he's been great to me. And he sent me a ball after the game, and it's in my office. So it was just everything came together in a way that you couldn't really dream it up, but it was actually reality.
Now, I alluded to it at the beginning of the program here,
Right.
but immediately following the championship, almost immediately right after
Right.
on the floor, a media blitz that took place
Yes.
afterwards. And we won't get into all the specifics of the different stops and things like that, but
Right.
there was one very special day, and that was the Saturday right before Selection Sunday,
Right.
where you and your entire team took
Right.
a whole trip through New York City for a lot of
Yes.
special events. Can you take us through that day?
That day was tremendous. We practiced at 8 in the morning, and no one was here. It was kind of like the first practice after the championship. Had a great practice, and then CBS had a chartered coach bus, leather seats. You were on it. It was really cool. And then just took us to the CBS studios and took us right onto the set with Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg, and Seth Davis. And they was incredibly nice to us. And we were shooting around on that basket, and then had a live set on that show, the road to the Final Four. From there, we were transported to the Marriott Marquis, and we were greeted by Joe Castiglione, who's the director of the search committee, or I shouldn't say search committee, the director of the selection committee. AD at Oklahoma, AD at Michigan State, AD at Duke welcomed our team, and the kids were in that room. And the biggest thing they liked about that room was there was a Pop-A-Shot and kind of an ice cream stand. But we were the first team in the history to ever go into that room. And then, prior to or afterwards, they fed us. The championship trophy that they're going to hand out in Houston was there. So it was just an incredible day. And then we walked to Madison Square Garden and watched Grant Billmeyer and Seton Hall win the Big East Championship. And he was part of our staff the year before. So 2016 was literally the year of the champion. And it happened at Seton Hall, and it happened here at Fairleigh Dickinson. So, and next year we open up with those guys. We play at Walsh on campus against Seton Hall, the Big East champs against the Northeast Conference champs, and we beat them the last time we played them. So I think they're going to be ready, but we'll be ready as well.
Selection Sunday comes.
Yeah.
You've been a coach for a long time.
Right.
What were your emotions? What were your feelings as you were sitting there getting ready to watch the show?
It was. I don't know. It was more. I think winning the we knew we were going to the tournament, so it was just a matter of who we were going to play. But it was just the kids were so excited, and that's like when I had my son when I was a little bit older in life. I had my son when I was. I'm 50. I'm going to be 55. Trey's 30. I was whatever I was in the 40s, and like I live my life now through my son. And now with my team, I just live all this happiness through them. To watch how excited they were that day, it was crazy. And we had the Strata Center was packed with like our true blue fans. Not everyone could make it, but this place was packed, and it was a great event, and it just legitimized us. And when our name was mentioned and the kids jumped up, it was like you see on TV, but it was actually happening.
And now playing in the first four,
Right.
Quick turnaround. So from
Yes.
Sunday, right away Monday morning, you're on your way out.
Right.
Was there a rush of energy, any type of feelings that went into that, and kind of the quick, hey, we know where we're going, let's go play right now?
Yeah, we were excited, and I thought we were ready. But in retrospect, Tom, I think the same thing happened to Seton Hall. We had similar years. I think our culmination, our goal was to get to Dayton. Our goal was to win the Northeast Conference Championship. So when we did it, I think we were ready. We thought we were ready. We just got out there, and we didn't have anything. Like, we didn't have what we had all year. But give credit to Florida Gulf Coast. They were incredible. They played like a perfect game the first half against us and just distanced themselves from us. But so now we have to reset our goals, and we did that when we got back from Dayton. Is to get to the tournament and advance in it. And I think the next time we get there, we'll know better how to advance, and we'll know that's not our ultimate goal is not only to win the Northeast Conference, but to go in and win game or games in the NCAA Tournament. And these guys were young. We were the youngest team in the tournament, third youngest team. in the country this year. So I think ultimately it was a lot for them to handle. But I thought we were ready. I really did. Before the game, I thought we were going to win the game. So did the players. But we obviously weren't prepared to do that. And I think next year we'll, or the year after, whenever it comes, we'll be ready.
Coach, the postseason awards keep rolling in for your program.
Right.
Last Friday, the most recent ones, the NABC handed out their all-district honors. Darian Anderson and Earl Potts Jr., both second-teamers.
Right.
And you, congratulations, were named the District 18 NABC Coach of the
Right.
Year. What do honors like that mean for you personally and for your program?
I think for me personally, it just legitimizes the team that I have, the staff that I have, and the school that I work for. And Tom, you came in here last year, and you were the one that made us go on that 14-game losing. No, but you were there during the tough times, and I think every time we did a show or every time we were getting ready for a game, I thought we were going to win. So it and we didn't, but I think we paid our dues. So to get the awards after. You lose a lot, and you might be questioned, or you question yourself, is very gratifying. But it's because I have a good team and a good staff, and the players. Earl Potts had an incredible postseason. He had an incredible season. Darian Anderson, the same thing, and those guys are just sophomores, so they have 2 more years to come back and to do more and set more records and. But for the NABC to recognize, our program, it's an honor.
And then another honor, so to speak, from the NABC. They've asked you to come be one of the keynote clinicians this weekend at the Final Four. So Monday morning, you're going to give a lecture on FDU pressure defense.
Yes.
What's it like for you to get the opportunity to speak to young coaches?
When I was, that means I'm old. So I'm not really happy about it. But when I was young, I used to go to those clinics like they were like it was special, and the guys that were speaking at it were Luke Arnesecca and Judd Heathcote and Johnny Orr and Raleigh Massimino. Those were so to be asked to do that is quite an honor. And the one thing about this stretch is I'm getting letters and emails from people all over the country that now notice FDU and ask for advice, and so it's maybe it's the passing of the torch type of deal. But I just and I tell everybody, and I'll tell them in Houston, it's just you got to do what you believe in and work hard and have a lot of faith, and good things will happen. And so it's not any mystifying, golden rule, but it really is. You just got to work hard, and this is a blue-collar university with a blue-collar team, and they worked hard, and we got hot at the right time, and not only winning the championship, but having a winning record and winning 18 games here with the schedule that we had was fantastic. But speaking at the NABC convention is an honor, and I'm looking forward to that as well.
Coach, congratulations on a great season. We'll catch up with you. You can fill us in on all the fun of the Final Four next week. You're taking Trey with you?
I'm taking Trey with me, and I'll come back with a picture of me with a cowboy hat on. How about that for next show?
I think everyone would appreciate that. Coach, thank you very much. We're going to be joined here by Darian Anderson, sophomore guard for the Knights. Darian, obviously your sophomore year, second year here at FDU. Won an NEC Championship, went to the NCAA Tournament. What are your feelings on the season as a whole?
I feel like it was an amazing season. We had a lot of good out-of-conference games that prepared us for our in-conference games. I think that made us successful in the end.
Personally, you were named second-team All-NEC, second-team NABC, District 18. What does it mean for you to win those accolades and those honors?
It's a great feeling that I'm noticed, but I can't do it without my teammates, and they put me in the best position to do so.
Going forward, you've been to the NCAA Tournament now. You've won an NEC Championship. What are the goals for this team going to be next year?
Remain the same goals, try to get another NEC title, and advance in the NCAA Tournament.
What are your personal goals going to be for next year?
Just to put myself in the best position to provide for my team and get the same accolades I already have.
So between scoring 28 points in the NEC Championship game and then obviously the NCAA Tournament game, a number of different things went on for you personally and for the team. If you could pick out one moment from that stretch, what was it?
Probably the celebration right after the game. It was just an unreal feeling.
Joined now by freshman big man Mike Holloway and All-NEC rookie team selection. Mike, first year at FDU, you come into a team, you immediately win the NEC Championship and go to the NCAA Tournament. Were you expecting those things coming into FDU?
Definitely did not expect to win it this early in my first year. I was expecting us to at least win it next year probably, because I know we have young guys, but not with less experience than most teams in the league, but we did it.
How about personally? You named to the NEC All-Rookie team. You were Rookie of the Week a couple of times. Do you expect to win those accolades? Did you expect to win those accolades? And now what do you expect for yourself going forward?
I mean, that was always a goal, to win accolades, and to win them was a blessing. And then going forward, I just hopefully win more, get some Player of the Weeks next year, and do more of what I did this year.
Long term, what's your goal? 3 more years at FDU. What are your plans now?
Long term is to win more NEC championships, hopefully win the regular season championship, go to a couple more NCAA tournaments, and do some personal things.
From the championship game on March 7th through the NCAA tournament game, your team went through a number of different events on the court, off the court. What was the favorite moment for you personally?
One of my favorite moments had to be the end of the championship game, when everyone in my team and all the parents and the fans so happy to just see us win that game. It was just one of the greatest moments of my life, and it just had a great feeling going through my body when that happened.